So with pranams to the holy trio, to revered Maharaj, and namaskars to everyone present today, we begin our next session on dedicated disciples. And as always, I will request Malavika Basu to please start with the opening chant.
Om Shang no Mitra Shang Varunah Shang no Bhavatar Yama Shang na Indro Brihaspatihi Shang no Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma vadishyami Dhritang vadishyami Sattang vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu mam Avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.
Request Maharaj to start the class. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Pranams.
Yes, thank you. Oh. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Hari Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Of course, I owe an apology to every one of you for the last month disconnection with the internet. So we could not continue the class. But yet I heard from the host, Yuma, that the class went on with the devotees who were present there singing songs, bhajans, and taking the name of Lord. So that was a wonderful thing. So that shows, how much we are deeply interested in spending the allotted time. Because most of you must have reserved this time. In India, now it's 4:30. So 4:30 to 5:30, we are now booked. So this time we should spend for this purpose. Like that we have what we call the time management. And we all do that. In our own mind, we keep that. So if at that particular time, if something happens and the thing doesn't come out, what we have decided, should we waste the time? Okay, the class is cancelled. So happy. Children, as children we have seen in the schools, when the class is cancelled, we are so happy. So we all come out running. So like that should we do? Or should we use the time usefully or profitably for us? That is what we have done. Hearing that, I became very emotional because that we have spent the time very well. Today is a very special day in our Hindu calendar. And most of us know that Krishna Janmashtami has already come and gone. We know in August it came. The date I forget, but we all celebrated all over India. All the Hindus celebrated Krishna Janmashtami. But it's not exactly Krishna Janmashtami. Today is some sects in Hinduism, they celebrate Krishna Janmashtami today. So today also Sri Krishna was born. So this is called Gokulashtami. So this Gokulashtami is, they say, the day Sri Krishna came to Gokula from the prison in Mathura. So when did he come? Did he come after 10 days? No. As per the story we know, the same night he was transported to Maa Yashoda's place. So that portion on the nakshatra he was born was Rohini. So it must be an Ashtami Tithi, Rohini should be there, and it should be night. All the three things come together, Then only this Vaishnava sect called Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. One Sampradaya is there among the Vaishnavas. They are called Sri Sampradaya. That means having allegiance to Sri. Sri means Mother Lakshmi. So that Sampradaya has got, are celebrating today as Janmashtami. So today also is Krishna is born. Of course, Krishna has got no birth at all. And if you say that he was born, that is a misnomer only. He is unborn, eternal. How can you say that he was born? But then yet he is being born every day, every moment in our heart. So shall I take that today's Krishna being born, and today somehow by Sri Ramakrishna's wish that today we are going to treat or take up a life story of a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna who was great devotee of Sri Krishna Bhagavan. So that is wonderful.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes. So on this day, we are able to think of Sri Krishna as well as the devotee who saw Sri Krishna by her physical eyes. Generally, in our visions, etc., we say that divine forms cannot be seen by the physical eyes. We require some type of spiritual eyes, as they call it. Those are required. That jnana chakshu or bhakti chakshu, like that, the chakshus are required. But here, this lady, she saw Sri Krishna in baby form, coming to her, playing with her, sitting with her, even drawing, pulling her sarees, and then playing, getting up into her lap and sleeping there, and eating whatever she gives. That type of Krishna coming and playing was a wonderful. So everybody in the Ramakrishna circle at that time gave her a name. What is the name? Her name was Gopal's mother. Gopala means Krishna. So she was Krishna's mother. So her original name, that completely went off. Nobody is telling that name. Even when we say Gopaler Maa. In Bengali, Gopaler means Gopal apostrophe S. So Gopal's of Gopal. So the mother of Gopal is called Gopaler Maa. So she was all called and told by everybody as Gopaler Maa, Gopaler Maa. And she's not, of course, a young lady. When she was born in 1822, 22 means 15 or 14 years before Sri Ramakrishna was born. She was elder to Sri Ramakrishna. But the strange thing was, Sri Ramakrishna became that Gopala, that child Gopala for her. And she considers Sri Ramakrishna as nothing else other than her Ishta Devata. This lady, her original name was Agora Mani Devi. This Mani, I told you in Bengal, the naming practice, the money. Nowadays, of course, the modern people, they don't give this money. This money is there everywhere. You'll find Sarada Mani, Agora Mani, Chandra Mani. Like that, you'll find a lot of money comes. So this money has been added as a middle name, as what you call middle name nowadays. So Agora Mani Devi. So the strange thing in her life, how she was born, you see, and then only at the age of 9, in those days, you know, the early marriage of the girls, they are all done. So we all know that the practice was there. And she was married at the age of 9. That was the first time she saw her husband. And that was the last time she saw her husband. After that, she never saw him. The husband went away to Calcutta and he died there. So she became widow at the age of 9 itself. So it was very strange that the conditions of widow in those days were rooted not to the society's this halla-bulla, but they are taken to spiritual life. So that's why you will find in Vrindavan, especially, if you go even now, there are hundreds and hundreds of widows coming to Vrindavan and spending their last life. They are not attached to their own people. their son, daughter, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, and then grandchildren, nothing doing. They leave everything. They write down the property, etc., to their son. And then with a little money, they come to Vrindavan. And they stay in Vrindavan till the end of their life. What they have understood is, the husband is gone, but the Lord is not gone to me. So Sri Krishna is my husband. In that way only we tell, people, some people, the modern people who do not believe in the Puranas, etc., they criticize Sri Krishna as having 60,000 wives. How can a man can have 60,000 wives? And your Krishna had. You see, our Jesus, he had none. Like that they compare and they try to put you down. But they don't understand the idea of being a wife to Lord. Only later part of Catholicism, we find the nuns who are coming up later on, after I think 1500, is only 500 years old. The system of considering Jesus himself as her husband. This idea was not there early in Christianity, but later on it came. So you find that God can be considered as my husband. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So you can have any type of bhavas. There are, Chaitanya Deva says, there are 5 kinds of bhavas are there to take to God. What type of bhavas? Many of us know the 5 bhavas. Can anyone tell me what are the 5 bhavas that we are all familiar with from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna?
Shanta Bhav.
Shanta Bhava, very good.
Dasya Bhav.
Dasya.
Madhur Bhav.
Madhura Bhava.
What are the other 2? It's not coming to my mind.
Sakya Bhav.
Vatsalya and Sakya.
Vatsalya Bhav.
So, Sakya Bhav.
All the 5 bhavas you are doing. So in that, there is one Vatsalya Bhava. So generally, we give an example for Vatsalya Bhava is about Yashoda. Yashoda's example we give, how she considered Krishna as her all in all. So that is what you see. In Aghoramani Devi's life, also we find the Vatsalya Bhava came into her. And of course, I told you, she has not met her husband afterwards. That was the first day she saw, that was the last day for her. Even though she has not seen her husband, her motherly instincts were roused by having seen Sri Krishna and doing japa of Krishna mantra. This doing japa, we discuss in every satsang. We discuss about the japa, how mother used to insist upon japa siddhi. Success is from doing japa. Mother says, and we all talk about the japa. But how many of us are able to devote our life, entire life to japa? Very, very few. One such boy was there. In our Puranas, in Bhagavatam, we hear about a boy, only 5-year-old boy. And his father was a king. And his name was Uttanapada. So this Uttanapada used to sit when he comes back to his palace from the official duties of the Raja kingdom. Then he comes back to his palace and he would sit. He had 2 wives. One is called Suruchi, another is called Suniti. And this Suniti also had a son. Suruchi also had a son. So both the sons, they would run to their father and would like to sit on the lap of the father. Every father has experienced this. Child running to her father, and child is being taken by the father and kept on the lap. This we know that. We see this everywhere. So in that way, Suruchi's son came and he sat on the lap. And Suniti's son also came running. And he also came to sit on the lap. But Suruchi was standing there. Unfortunately, Suniti was not there. So Suruchi removed this boy. This boy's name was Dhruva. And removed him from there. And she said to him, go, you are not fit to sit on the lap of your father. She told him. And then when the boy came up and he wept before his mother, Suniti, Ma, this is what happened to me. She did not allow. She said, it doesn't matter. See how this wonderful lady. That's why her name is called Suniti. Niti means dharma. The rules of dharma are called Niti. So Suniti, properly, she is the person who was very much interested in upholding the dharma. Suruchi, her name also shows, Ruchi means taste. Suruchi means she has got finer taste. Finer taste for worldly enjoyment, not for spiritual enjoyment. For worldly enjoyment, she had that Ruchi. So she is called Suruchi. That according to her name, she behaved. Suniti said, my son, don't worry. You go to the forest and think of Lord Vishnu, and Vishnu will come, and then you will get back your kingdom. And then the Dhruva goes there. On the way, he meets the sage Narada. Narada is a sage you'll find in Puranas, many times, many places with many people, he comes. He is one universal person who comes in almost all the spiritual seekers like, because he is a guide to everyone. Today also, if you want to see Narada, you can see him, because he is Chiranjeevi. He has got no death. So he will be there till this kalpa is remaining. So if you are interested in sadhanas, and if you are finding difficulty, you just call Narada and he is before you and he comes to you. So Narada saw this boy and then he advised him to chant a mantra. That mantra is called Dwadas Akshari Mantra. Dwadasha Akshari Mantra. Dwadasha Akshari Mantra it is called. What is that mantra? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Krishnaya is another mantra. Likewise, you can have any number of mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate, then the God's name. You can put Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Subramanyaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Gajananaya. Like that, in every devotee, every deity, we can have mantra Om Namo Bhagavate. But if it is 12 aksharas, 12 alphabets, then it is called Dwadasa Akshari Mantra. So you find Swamiji also created one mantra in Sri Ramakrishna in the same style of the Puranas. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. This mantra was created by Swamiji in Om Rim Ritam. In the Arati Shloka, the very first letter of that, each stanza, you take it and put it together, you can see that Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya comes. So this is the style in those days, that Om Namo Bhagavate. Whom I am thinking of, he should be Bhagavan. That's why Bhagavate is used. To Bhagavan is called Bhagavate. So that mantra Dhruva chanted for not only for 5 years, he was a 5-year-old boy, he chanted for 5 years, and then Sri Narayana came before him. So the different types of wonderful experiences, visions that we are having is because of the power of mantra that is being chanted by me with great devotion. And Aghoramani was like that person. She was that ancient tradition, steeped in ancient tradition, and she knew that by doing mantra of Lord Krishna, Krishna will appear to me. And like that she felt, she had a great conviction in that idea. And so also, as per her conviction, the grace descended upon her. So Sri Krishna appeared to her as a young boy. So those incidents, we all have seen that, we have read it, but it's there. It is right. One day, I'm reading that small paragraph just for understanding how Sri Krishna came into her life. One day, she was cooking as usual, but the fire would not burn. The wood was heavy with moisture. If a dry wood only can burn nicely. So if the moisture is there, water is there, it can't burn. There was an adverse wind which blew the smoke into her eyes. In those days, to doing this type of oven, whether you all have seen it or not, nowadays all gas system has come. But I have seen in villages, this oven has been used. So, and the smoke into her eyes. Finally, when the bit of rice and curry was done, she was about to pour it out on the leaf. She was about to pour it from the small vessel she had to the leaf. At that time, that wind, adverse wind came and blew away the leaf. So the leaf went out. But then she began to scold God for making everything so bad for Gopala. She was thinking about Gopala and she wanted to offer to Gopala on a plate. What is the leaf plate? So in the leaf is now gone. Where she will put that food? So she was angry on God and scolded whom? God means what? Gopala here. Only to Gopala she is giving offering, and Gopala is not accommodating her, to her fulfill her wish. So she scolded Gopala left and right. And then what happened? As she was talking, a little boy brought back the leaf. He came suddenly from somewhere. She doesn't know from where. A little boy came and brought the leaf and kept it over there. Held it out flat on the ground until she had put the food over the leaf. Then what happened? At the moment this was done, the food was kept on the plate, she disappeared. She began to feed her Gopala, mentally. Because when the food has come, when we do, mentally only we offer, oh Lord, please accept my Naivedyam. Like that she is telling, began to ask herself who that little boy was. So she went out and searched here and there. She couldn't get. And she became mad after Gopala. She was convinced that Gopala only came, hearing her scolding, and he only brought the plate and he took it, but he went out from his vision. That was a terrible thing for her. She went mad. All day and night, she kept crying, where is my Gopala? Where is my Gopala? Just imagine. She could not sleep or eat. And then later she prepared, etc., goes. So this was the time that Gopala came into her life physically. So it may be a vision, you may say, but it was not a vision, because he would do all the physical activities along with Gopal's mother, that is this Agoramani. So how can you call it a mere vision or imaging or thinking like that? No, actually he was there and helping him and helping her. So in 1886, Ramakrishna had Mahasamadhi. Just 6 years before, she heard about Sri Ramakrishna like any other person in Bengal. His name was Paramahamsa of Dakshineswara. Like that, the name started spreading among the people. And she heard. Then she thought, oh, one Paramahamsa is there nearby. She lived in a village called Kumarhati. And the Kumarhati later became a town. Now it is a very big town also in Calcutta.
Kamarhati Maharaj.
Kamarhati, yes. That Kamarhati and Dakshineswar are the same bank of Ganges River. So if you have to go to Kamarhati, from Dakshineswar you can take a boat. Likewise, from Kamarhati you can take a boat and come to, in Kamarhati there is a Radha Krishna temple where she stayed. One room was given to her. She stayed there. Of course, she had some relationship with that Manoharmani who was in charge of that place, and her brother was a pujari in the temple. All those past was there. But then she had no income. She had 500 rupees, a fixed deposit in a bank, and every month she would get some annas. She would get as an interest, and with that interest, she was happily living there, fully engaging herself completely to the service of or thinking of Sri Krishna. That was her wonderful life was going on like that. But somebody asked Sister Nivedita that what is the necessary to know the daily life of great people. Somehow in the discussion, it came up. So Sister Nivedita says, she Kaman Reddy, so Sister Nivedita described her daily routine. What was the routine? I'll just read a few ideas to see. Just now I saw the paragraph. It just went away. Okay. Yes, the routine. Gopaler Maa rose 2 a.m. We can never think of that. We'll just listen to what she has been doing. At least we'll have an idea. If you sincerely practice the daily routine of such great souls, we will also one day become like that. So just to have an idea, 2 a.m. she got up, washed her face and hands, and then started her japa, which continued until 8 a.m. 6 hours morning, every day morning, sitting in one place and doing japa. Next, she cleaned the Radha Krishna temple, washed the worship vessels, picked flowers, made garlands and sandal paste. She was neat, clean, and meticulous. She would bathe twice a day, mornings in the Ganges, evening in the pond. After bathing in the Ganges, she meditated for some time under a vilva tree in the temple garden. I told you this is Radha Krishna temple. Strangely, a vilva tree is there. Tulsi must be there, but she sat for meditation under the vilva tree. And what she did, then she collected dry wood and leaves for her cooking fire. There was not even charcoal was available to her. She had no means to purchase charcoal. So she did this type of leaves. And then she usually cooked rice, dal, bitter squash and potatoes. Her food offering to baby Gopala was worth seeing. Nivedita has seen that. So she says, worth seeing. She would place a wooden seat on the floor for Gopala and offer cooked food on a banana leaf plate that she set before him. Many people say banana leaf eating is only in the south of India. No man, everywhere it is there. Even in Bengal, it was there. Now only we have gone to Tal Pata, etc. We have gone. Sal Pata, isn't it? Shal Pata has been replaced. So the banana leaf plate has been used everywhere. All over India it has been used. So the small banana leaf she would give him prasad. And then she would partake of the prasad and practice japa again until evening, when she would attend the arati in the Radha Krishna temple and then listen to devotional songs. Her supper was always very simple, usually consisting of a few offered coconut balls and a little milk. That's all her supper. So this was the routine followed by her for 30 years. From 1852, 22 she was born. From 1852 to 1883, she was practicing 30 years, she was practicing this routine. So which God will not come before her? You just see. Whoever you worship like that, that God is compelled. That's why we see in Puranas, these asuras, they go and do the japa and do tapasya, we call it. So the little tapasya, Brahma appears. It said, Vishnu appears, Shiva appears. If you are doing such constantly thinking of them and doing japa and doing such a penance life, which God will not come before? Any God you address and he has to come, because the gods are nothing but mantra swarupa. The mantra binds them. That's why mantra has got so much power. They are all mantra swarupas. All the gods and goddesses are not imaginary things. The deities that we worship in every temple, in our own homes, they all are bound with mantra shakti. So they are all bound by that. So they come. And then she has come. And you understand from her life that she had very little thing to eat. And with this small amount, the paisas or anas that he had, do you think she would be able to go and meet the holy men? Because the rule says, our Dharma Shastra says, if you want to see a holy man, you should not go empty-handed. You should take something. I used to make fun, in Durban when I was there. One gentleman used to come to see me. He used to be a frequent visitor. So what he would do, he had this idea. From the gospel, he came to know that when you want to visit a holy man, you should purchase something and take it. So people bring some sweets or some flowers, fruits, etc. He would go to the garden and pick up a flower, and then he would give me. So nicely with all the bhakti, he would give. I would accept that flower. So the flower giving, something he must give. So what she can give? She heard about Ramakrishna and came to Ramakrishna. The funny part is, Ramakrishna started asking her, what you have brought, it is like Amrita. She thought, I am a poor lady, and this man, the holy man, is unnecessarily praising me just to keep me happy, I think, because there are big Marwadis are coming there in the Chiteswar temple, and they are bringing so many fine sweets. And what I prepare, that is simply insignificant. But then he's telling it is like Amrita. That means just to satisfy me, he's telling. Like that she thought. But then whenever she would bring anything to him, and he would eat very, very relishingly, he would eat. But you see, her going back, she could not stay alone. She says, something is haunting her. What was haunting? The Ramakrishna's Rupa is haunting her. And somehow she says, I must go and see him. And she would come next week itself, she would come, or the middle of the week she would come, and she would bring something. One day, this is going on, and Ramakrishna started asking her, next time when you come, you bring this sweet to me. You bring that sweet to me. Like that, he started ordering her. And this poor lady has to go and then find out money for that, and then purchase. And then she thought at that time, what she thought, in her own words, she thought, what a strange monk is this? He talks only about food. I come here for spirituality, and he talks only about food. I'm a poor widow. Where shall I get so many delicacies for him? Enough. I shall not go back again. She decides. But can Ramakrishna keep quiet? And he is pulling her. Next day she would be again coming to him. And he would ask, next time when you come, you bring that sweet, this sweet. So this has become the talk of the town in the Chiteswar. Why I'm telling you, suddenly one day, Naren was sitting with Gurudev, and then he is talking to Sri Ramakrishna. In the room, nobody was there. So Naren is telling, sir, I want to confide something to you confidentially. So Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, tell me, what is that? He said, about you, there is a scandal going on. People are talking something bad about you. Then Ramakrishna is childlike. When somebody says anything, he immediately gets absorbed in that. And with his big eyes, opening his big eyes, he's asking Naren, hey Naren, tell, what is the scandal about me? Like that he's asking, he's curiosity. And then Naren says, one poor widow comes. And whenever she comes, you say, bring this food, that sweet, that, etc. From where she will get money? And she is a widow, and she doesn't have any support also. A few annas she gets, etc., etc. The people are speaking. And people are speaking, our Guru has become such, mad or what? He's asking, always eating. What is this? Then Sri Ramakrishna became very serious. And he told Naren, those people who scandalize me, do they know who is Agoramani? Then Naren also is young, so very young boy. He's 40 years, more than 40 years elder to him. So he said, no sir, I don't know. Then Ramakrishna says, in Gopaler Yuga, when Krishna and Balaram decided to come to Mathura from Vrindavan, they came to Mathura. Why they came to Mathura? First time, because our Mama Kans has invited them to see a competition, Mallyuddha competition, it is called. the competition that we all have nowadays, you see that competition of two people dashing each other. And what is that called? Huh? A good name is there.
Boxing, Maharaj.
Not boxing exactly, that's another thing.
Wrestling, Maharaj. Wrestling.
World Wrestling Federation.
So the wrestling show is there. So he has invited his two nephews, Krishna and Balarama. So they have come. And at that time, the news of Krishna and Balarama coming to the town of Mathura spread everywhere. So people are crowding everywhere. Some people are standing in the balcony, some people are in the road, and everybody is standing there to look for Krishna and Balarama. And both these boys, only 16-year-old, and they are walking on the road, very majestical, extremely handsome boys. And Krishna with that Mayur Panka, and he is coming. And you can just imagine the beauty of the place at that time. Everybody is saying, Jai Krishna ki Jai, like that they are giving Jai Gosha. At that time, one old lady runs to see Krishna. She says she has got a plate in her hand. She removes the cover, the cloth cover she has put, and she says, "Hey Krishna, since I heard that you are coming to Mathura, I have been only thinking of you and I have made these sweets for you. Full plate sweets. Can a boy like that can eat all the sweets?" She has got, "No, you must eat." Krishna says, "Well, mother, I don't have time now. I have to go to my mama's palace now. There is a show going to start. So I cannot eat now. You must eat." Then he takes a 4 portion of that one sweet, he breaks it and puts it in his mouth. And he gives another piece, the remaining piece to Balaram. Balaram also puts it in his mouth. And then they go away. Then he looking at the rain, Sri Ramakrishna says, what do they know about this Agorumani? That old lady who had a full plate of sweets, who will eat now? And that is what I am doing now. He said. That was stunningly revelation to Naren. You know, this is one of the points that you must understand, that he who came as Sri Krishna, he who came as Sri Rama is now is Sri Ramakrishna. He remembers the past birth of that old lady. And he says, Krishna took only one piece of sweet. The entire plate is there. That has to be taken. That is what I am doing now. That was a stunning thing. You know, when I read it, I was really stunned. How Sri Ramakrishna could go into the past life of another yuga. It is not like 10 years back, 50 years back. Another yuga, and he is remembering that past life. And he is telling that, and Naren was kapchuk, because nothing, no talk after that. So he understood what is it. That's why he told Nivedita, I will show you some of the women in Bengal who are completely steeped in the past, he said. And one of this was the Gopal's mother. And how she used to, Nivedita used to love this Gopal's mother. She would sit with her and look at her, even in that old age when she could not speak much, and she was doing, the beads was going on and going on. So Nivedita writes one sentence about that beads. She says, here, near her hand lay an old copy of the Ramayana and her great horn spectacles and the little white bag containing her beads. That is like Rudraksha, maybe Tulsi Mala, maybe. On those beads, Gopaler Maa had become a saint. What a wonderful sentence. Only on the bead, moving the bead again and again and again, she became a saint. Hour after hour, day after day, for how many years has she sat day and night absorbed in rotating the beads? What a wonderful life, you see. That type of japa. Nowadays we organize japa yajna. In southern states, you will find this japa yajna is one of the programs for the devotees. And every devotee has been told to do 10,000 times 5-day program, 50,000 japa you will do. There is nothing you need to worry about anything, about food or about the stay or about anything. Everything is provided to you. You have to just come and sit and do japa, that's all. So we give nowadays the small machine, electronic machine has come. So some devotees come and give. So many japa yajna is being done. So 80 devotees are there. So I have purchased 80 pieces. Please distribute to them. So we distribute them. Otherwise your mind will be going on the counting, you see. So at least the machine will count. So like that, the japa, doing japa for long time and large number is we are not able to do. But then it is not possible, you cannot say. Can you say that type of life is not possible? You cannot say that. Because that is being led by somebody. Is an example in our life. That Gopaler Maa is an example for japa siddhi, japa siddhi, japa siddhi. As mother used to say. And the funny thing is, the Avatara Purusha's way of redeeming the souls who are deeply attached to God. How he redeems. In every life of these devotees, we find redemption is there. Redemption means giving mukti to the devotee. How he gives mukti to this lady? What happened? The boy who was playing with Agoramani Devi, finally, one day, before her eyes, he entered into Sri Ramakrishna's body. And that's all merged with him. And she understood her Gopala is Ramakrishna only. So till death, she never forgot Ramakrishna and Gopala. That Gopala's wonderful devotion of her is really stunning for all of us. So I'm happy on the Janmashtami of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya day. We are having some time to think about Gopala. It's also a great blessing, I should say, by Sri Ramakrishna to all of us. So let me finish here and then I pass on to Juma for conducting further. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you, Maharaj. It was a wonderful session. As Jabadi has rightly said, that it was a out of the world session in the message he's written. So I truly endorse that. And Maharaj, I had one question. That Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they follow the lunar calendar or the solar calendar? Is it that they follow the solar calendar?
You see, exactly I don't know to which calendar they follow. But the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya has got its own calendar. The calendar is available in the network, in the internet. So we can see that. But exactly what calendar they, but you see, their condition is when Krishna was born, it should be midnight, number one. Number two, Rohini Nakshatra should be ascendant in the Akasha. And thirdly, it should be Ashtami Tithi. Unless the three things come together, they will not consider as Krishna's birth.
Krishna's birthday, okay.
So that's why they wait for that.
Okay, all right. So, with respect to Mamika.
It is lunar calendar, Maharaj.
Lunar calendar, okay, thank you. Yes, I know, I did not know about that.
Okay. But we follow the lunar calendar and it was the 19th of August, I think, that we had. So anyway, that's okay.
16th of August. 16th of August.
We follow in Ramakrishna Mission tradition, we follow one Panchika, one calendar.
Yeah.
You know what is the name of that calendar? Not Gupta calendar. It is called Vishuddha Siddhanta Panchika. Vishuddha Siddhanta calendar is a combination of lunar, solar only.
Oh, okay. Vishuddha, what Panchika?
Siddhanta.
Vishuddha Panchika.
বিশুদ্ধ সিদ্ধান্ত আর
সিদ্ধান্ত
আর আমরা যেটা ফলো করি সেটা হচ্ছে সূর্য সিদ্ধান্ত
সিদ্ধান্ত Panchika, and that is the Panchika followed by for astronomical calculations of the government of India.
Oh, okay.
Maharaj, something more on that. Actually,
it did happen that Meghnad Saha and a few scientists had analyzed the then traditional Panjika and found that there are some computational errors. Then they corrected that, and then this Panchakam was made, and this was accepted by not Ramakrishna Math and central government, by many state governments, then Shankaracharya Math, even ISKCON. But the fun part is in Bengal, it is the other Panjika, the traditional Panjika, which is still endorsed by the general public. I mean, without knowing that the correction has already been made by one of the main scientists, Meghnad Saha.
I see. So that I do not know the controversies about these Panjikas, but since in our Math we follow this Vishuddha Siddhanta, so I also see that only.
Okay.
So that is it.
Maharaji, I have received a forward today. Can I read it out about today's Rohini Janmashtami?
Please.
May 2025, also known as Sri Krishna Janmashtami, this year will be observed on Sunday, September 14th. This sacred day marks the birth of Lord Krishna, one of the most revered deities in Hinduism.
Okay.
Unlike most regions of India, where Krishna Janmashtami is celebrated based on the lunar calendar, states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and parts of Karnataka follow the calendar and observe the festival as Ashtami Rohini.
Okay, that's good. So I heard that from one Swami who belonged in his pre-monastic life to the Sri Sampradaya. So he explained to me that in Sri Sampradaya, that is Vaishnava Sampradaya, they follow generally this Gokulashtami, not Janmashtami, like that he said. Okay, there are many Sampradayas also may be following it. As you say, Karnataka and Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they do follow that. Yes.
Any questions, devotees?
Juma, can you read the message of Sri Devi from Gabon?
Yes, Maharaj. Moment. Okay, so it is Pranams Maharaj. The story of Gopaler Maa reminds me of Kuru Ramma, a poor widow in Kerala who was a great devotee of Krishna. She could see little Krishna and cared for him as her own child. One day, when he was especially naughty, she punished him by placing him on top of a big brass cooking pot. Oh my God. That same day, the saint Vilva Mangalam was waiting for Krishna's darshan, and when Krishna finally appeared, he was covered in black suit. Smiling, he explained that Kuru Ramma would not let him go. So Ajaya Prana Mataji has written the story in Malayalam. Beautiful. So this she shared.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing this, Sri Devi. Malavika, go ahead.
Just regarding Gopaler Maa, the remarkable lady, she was also later kind of authorized and insisted upon, like, to give Diksha. And so she was very reluctant, but it seems like she has given to a very few, but she was a hard taskmaster. The instruction was to do minimum 10,000 jopam each day.
Per day. Oh.
So this I heard from one of Sabopriyanandaji's talk. And something else also regarding...
At your news, because they were not born at her time and they did not have her as their guru. Yes, from 10,000 times doing japa.
Yeah, so this was Gopaler Maa giving Diksha, is it, Malavika? I missed the first part.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Maharaj?
Nandini Ravi, will you, Nandini is in the queue now. Can I request her to ask a question, please?
Namaste, Maharaj. It is Jayanti. Basically, they say that both Ashtami and Rohini come together is only called as Jayanti. Other we say Gandhi Jayanti and all, that is all Chumma they say. So that Rohini Nakshatram, that is why they give that importance in Sri Vaishnava. So that is why they celebrate this day today, Maharaj. And my question is, Maharaj,
Like the same thing I told in the beginning.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
There, it must be midnight, it must be Tithi. Then all the three come together only, it will be considered as a
Mainly they consider nakshatra, I think.
nakshatra.
That's what it is. My question is about somewhere I read in Holy Mother saying she fears Gopaler Maa as her mother-in-law, like that. Why is that so? What is the connection with Holy Mother with Gopaler Maa Maharaj?
You see, yes, I have not read the, today only I was reading the book. I did not find their Holy Mother telling her mother-in-law something like that.
I think it was in Gospel of Holy Mother Maharaj. I'm not sure. Somewhere I read, I think.
Can I just make a comment, Maharaj?
Yes.
Yes, on this topic, no, she was treated as mother-in-law, but a very loving mother-in-law, because she was called as Gopaler Maa, so mother of Sri Ram Krishna. So she gave the same reverence as she gave it to Sri Ram Krishna's biological mother, and they had a very loving mother-in-law daughter-in-law relationship. So when she used to come to Dakshineshwar, Sri Ram Krishna with her menu list would send her to Nahabat, and with all the ingredients, then Gopaler Maa used to cook there and make the food for Sri Ram Krishna. And also later, like there were one incident particularly involving both Thakur and Ma are very important in this regard, that once some devotees from Balaram Babu's house gave some additional food item and some hatakunti, like the cooking utensils and all these things, to Gopaler Maa, because she was a poor lady who required this support. So when they were going back from Bagbazar to Dakshineshwar, and then from there she will go back to Kamarhaddi, Sri Ram Krishna started talking about Tag Boiraggo, how one should not have collected anything additional and all these things, and gave a very stern look to Gopaler Maa without naming anything. And that was enough for Gopaler Maa. She felt very tormented, and then she ran to Holy Mother. Bouma, this Gopal has become very annoyed with me. What should I do with this? And then Mother moderated, saying that no, he doesn't know how to do the daily living. Please have something. These are essential for you. These are not luxury. But then that didn't soothe her mind. So she left most of the things with a very bare minimum. She went back taking all those things. So, like, in spite of having such a austere life, Thakur was so stern that the greatest of those disciples who would be the star of stars for future generations to follow, that how he taught them that what is the highest ideal and how to maintain that. So those are very remarkable. And then
I remember one thing when they said in the boat when they were coming, and she was looking at the spots, and the gifts, and then looking at her very sternly and telling the Vairagya is required, all these things. Then at that time, one thought came into her mind, to take all these and throw it in the Ganges. She did not accept the type of comments, indirect comments. Yes. Another thing.
And also, Shamiji, could you please also tell us the incident where she was very particular about this touching and all these things, would not take prasad from anybody. And once Sri Ram Krishna, he went to some Krishna temple, and where she was given some prasad and she didn't take it. And then second time when she got it, that Thakur didn't like that. And then when she was in two minds whether to have it or not, or she was taking, and then he heard some voice of Thakur or saw that Kire Eibaro fele dibi naki, something like that. Do you remember that incident?
Yeah, no, I have not come across that. In this Chaitranya's book, it is not there.
Malavika, you're over. Shall I go to the next person in the queue?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you, Malavika. Thank you, Maharaj.
Anirban, do you have a question? I can see Anirban's hand raised. Maybe he's.
Yes, I have one question.
Yes. Go ahead,
Pranam,
Anirban.
yeah, Pranam Maharaj, I have only one question that what we discussed, that Gopaler Maa, that Ramakrishna, that Rohini, Janmashtami, it's whatever the topic we discussed. Just I'd like to know what is the significance in modern life. Means we are mostly working in the technology based the domain in our corporates, that mostly the technological based that domain we are associated. So how we relate this whatever the discussion that in our modern life, how we
very good. Thank you, Anirban. Yes, thank you. It's a beautiful question. Very relevant to the modern style of living. Yes. So we do not have that much time as Gopaler Maa had with her. You know, as you remember that she was a widow and she was staying in a temple vicinity, and she had whole time with her. She had nothing to do, go here, there, etc. And collecting only monthly once she would go and bring a rice and dal, that's all. So that was enough for her, and she had lot of time. But we are lacking so much of time. So what we should do, even the smallest time that you have in your life, for instance, Anirban, in your life, if you have 1 hour only, you can spend today for your spiritual life. If you think so, that 1 hour also, due to the tamas, you may forego. But when you see Gopaler Maa, that inspiration comes to us. That lady has so much done. Japa, why not I do some little also? Why not I sit for 10 minutes also? Like that, the inspiration comes. That's why we read the history. History always gives you the part, not only the facts about the past life of the others, but also it gives inspiration to us. So that is the sole aim of conducting this class under the Tat Padam aegis. Why I'm telling you, this has given us opportunity to recollect again and again. These are all in the books only. You can read it in the books. I don't need to come and tell you the story. But then there is an interaction between a monk and the devotee. So that is happening in these type of classes. So that is what we are doing it now. So this will give us inspiration. That is the sole aim of understanding these lives.
Thank you, Maharaj.
And thank you, Arindam. Indrani, do you have a question? Go ahead, please.
Those who want to ask, those who want to ask, please raise the hand. If the hand is raised, then Juma will know who are in the queue. Yes.
Thank you.
Pranam Maharaj.
Yes.
Yes, Maharaj, I had raised question by hand, Maharaj.
Okay.
Maharaj, no question. I just that part that you read, Maharaj, from where you were saying that she had an old copy of the Ramayana.
Yes. Yes.
Then
Yes.
so that part I have, Maharaj, in my I had read it in this book, Sister Nivedita's book. So
Okay.
Maharaj, you want me to that part, the where Swamiji is saying that quotation, Maharaj, may I read out a little bit?
Yes. Yes. Do it.
Thank you, Maharaj. So in the months which this is Sister Nivedita writing. In the months which I spent with the mother and her ladies, Gopaler Maa would sometimes be in Calcutta and sometimes for weeks together away at Kamarhati. There a few of us went one full moon night to visit her. How beautiful was the Ganges as the little boat crept on, and how beautiful seemed the long flight of steps rising out of the water and leading up through its lofty bathing hut past the terraced lawn to the cloister-like veranda on the right, where in a little room built probably in the first place for some servant of the great house at its side, Gopaler Maa had lived and told her beads for many a year. The great house was empty now, and her own little room was absolutely without comforts. Her bed was of stone, and her floor of stone, and the piece of matting she offered her guests to sit on had to be taken down from a shelf and unrolled. the handful of parched rice and sugar candy that formed her only store and were all that she could give in hospitality were taken from an earthen pot that hung from the roof by a few cords. But the place was spotlessly clean, washed constantly by Ganges water of her own sturdy carrying. And in a niche near her hand lay an old copy of the Ramayana. This part you were reading, Maharaj.
Yes.
And her great horn spectacles and the little white bag containing her beads. On those beads, Gopaler Maa had become a saint. Hour after hour, day after day, for how many years had she sat day and night absorbed in them? And then she writes, the radiant white moonlight made the trees and flowers outside seem like black shadows, moving and whispering in a dream world of white marble. But nothing could seem so dreamlike as in the midst of her busy, hurrying world, the thought of spots like this little cell of Gopaler Maa enshrining her silent intensity of peace. Ah, said the Swami, when he heard of the visit, this is the old India
Yes.
that you have seen. Maharaj, you were mentioning this. This is the old India that you have seen. The India of prayers and tears, of
Yes.
vigils and fasts,
Yes.
that is passing away, never to return.
Correct. The vigils and fast, tears and prayers. What a wonderful sentence Swamiji has commented. Oh, that
Very
India is gone,
beautiful.
Nowadays you can't get that India back.
Thank you, Indrani.
Yes.
And Abhishanda, would you like to speak? Thank you.
Yes, Maharaj. Incidentally, I was in Kamarhati today only. I was there only today. I went to Agarpara, Sri Sri Anandamoyi Ma's ashram, and I was coming through Kamarhati today. And I have never visited Govinda Chandra Datta's Thakur Bari, but when I will go next time, I will obviously I will visit. I will go there and offer my pranams. And I have seen Matilal
But
Shil's Thakur Bari.
one caution I will tell you, when you go in the temple, be aware that some beings are moving here and there.
Yes, Maharaj. I was there. I was just thinking that I was there only today. That's what I wanted to share.
Be aware of the ghosts that are moving there.
Thank you, Abhishanda, for sharing that on a light note. And, yes?
Raji wants to ask something, but she has not put the hand.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Raji, yes, please go ahead, Raji. Sorry, I missed you.
Namaste, Swamiji. எனக்கு என்ன கொஸ்டின்னா, ஒரு நாம ஜபம் அதுக்கு அவ்வளவு பவரா ஒரு கடவுளே நம்மளோட நம்ம கூட்டே வர்றாங்கன்னா அதனோட சக்தி. இப்ப நம்ம நார்மலா ஜபம் பண்றோம், அதுக்கு என்ன பவர் இருக்குன்னு தெரியல, எனக்கெல்லாம் ரொம்பவே தெரியல. அதுக்கு கடவுளே வர்றாங்க நம்மளோடங்கும் போது அதனோட இது இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நீங்க சொன்னீங்கன்னா நல்லா இருக்கும். About the power of Nama Japa.
Yes, Rajeshwari is from Kanchipuram. So she is telling that for chanting the mantra by doing Nama Japa, God himself comes down and comes to you. That means, what is the secret of that Nama Japa? Can you please tell me, she says. So, அது எப்படின்னாக்க, இப்போ ஒவ்வொரு கடவுளோட உருவமும் கடவுளுடைய நாமமும் அது எப்படி வந்திருக்குனாக்க, அது யாரோ கற்பனை பண்ணி போட்டது அல்ல, அது மந்திர ஸ்வரூபம் தான் அந்த மாதிரி வருது. இப்ப நமக்கு குருதேவர் மந்திரம் கொடுக்குறாரு இல்லையா, அந்த மந்திரம் கொடுத்தோன்னு மந்திரத்தை அர்த்தம் தெரியுமா? நமக்கு தெரியாது. ஆனா அந்த மந்திர ஸ்வரூபமா உள்ள இந்த டெய்டி, அந்த தேவதை நமக்கு காட்சி கொடுப்பார். அதனாலதான் மந்திரத்தின் மூலமாக அவரை அடையலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். The Namajapam psychology is that the deity whom we worship is mantra swarupa. So the mantra swarupa is nothing but the mantra is bringing out in physical form. In a physical form is the rupa and the nama of the deity. So that other than that, there is nothing else in the mantra. You see, if you want to see when the Guru gives mantra, he tells you do japa of this mantra. What is the meaning of the mantra? Like that some people ask. At that time, Gyananaji Maharaj used to say, You have to do everyday japa, and the meaning will shine automatically on your brain. He would say, nobody need to tell you. You will see the drashta, that is when you become the mantra drashta, when you see the mantra, and the mantra will show you what is the meaning of that mantra. So the deity, the devata that we upasana, that deity is mantra swarupa. That deity has to come. Mantra is the voice method, and the deity is the eyes. Through the eyes we can see him, and we can touch him. Through all the 5 sense organs, we can feel him. That's why mantra japa is very important, they say. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raji. And Bishotush Chakraborty, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Maharaj, so I am just mentioning about one article I had come across recently. It was written by Swami Tapasananda.
Okay.
If I am correct. So from USA. So he mentions about, our corporate life. So there was one question about like how we can, do this kind of thing in a corporate life. So he was mentioning about joining the dots. So as to say, like, for example, let's say if I am going to office, so the whole 24 hours, except the sleep, I am awake, and I divide my activities into, let's say, the morning ablutions, then maybe morning japa, then I'm driving my car, then going to the office, starting my day, in between also, lunch break, or walking to the restroom, or fetching water. So for every break, I should do some japa, so that these dots which are there, they are all connected. And once you connect all the dots, I am actually continuously connected to the Lord. And then it becomes, as he says, work and worship. It doesn't become work as worship or work is worship, so or work and worship. And then he says that it also helps when you actually start doing a real japa and meditation when in your evening or in the morning time. Because the whole day that you are connected makes you a lot more able to do with intensity when you want to do that.
That's a wonderful idea. What we heard from Vishutosh, that is true. So that preparation for doing japa in the evening after coming back home is already done. You don't need to make a separate preparation because mind is ready for that. It is excited. I am going to sit now. I'm going to think of Lord. Like that, mind is excited. So you can be easily putting your mind on that. Focus on the mind. That's. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishutosh. And Sundar PV, would you like to go ahead with your question now, please? Thank you. Sundarji, are you there? We cannot hear you.
Mic is muted, I think.
Sundarji, let's see. Is he there? It's been, or is it by mistake that he has put up his hand? Must be.
Hello.
Yes, Sundarji, go ahead.
Madam, Pranam Maharaj, a small information I would like to share it, Maharaj. Being in South India, we are staying in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
For us, today is Sri Krishna Jayanti, Maharaj. We are celebrating.
Yes. This is what we told.
Because we fall on the nakshatra of today's Rohini nakshatra.
Rohini nakshatra, yes, correct. Thank you for confirming it. Yes.
So normally in the north, they used to celebrate on the Ashtami.
Yes.
But we used to celebrate on the birth star of Krishna Maharaj.
Birth star, that is very necessary. In South India, most of the people have the birthday based on the stars only.
Yes,
not
Maharaj.
on the tithis. Yes. Right.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sundarji, for sharing and confirming that. Yeah, we did spend a lot of time discussing, and so you confirmed that to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
No problem. And anyone else? Any more questions? It's time for Maharaja's coffee break now. We had a wonderful session, Maharaj, and as always, I don't have to say again, thank you so much for your time and attention. And we are ever yearning for more of your time and attention, if possible. But yes, okay.
Thank you.
Maharaj, before you leave, I have to ask a question. I was waiting for this opportunity.
Okay.
That you said the Gopaler Maa used to get up at 2 a.m. in the morning. My question is, what time she used to go to sleep? So that's
Yes, she didn't have a family like yours and others. So she didn't have family. So in those days, by 6:30 is the end of the day. When I went to my village to see our grandmother, at that time, by 6 o'clock, my grandmother would call all the children, hey, come, sir, have supper like that. You see. In city, we don't do like that, you see. So that is it. She must be going to bed very early. Still, I would say, being a spiritually highly evolved soul, she would not have so much of tamas to sleep for 8 hours, 10 hours. No. I can easily understand. She must be sleeping minimum 4 hours or less than 4 hours a day. Yes.
There was no electricity also, no, at that point. So
No,
people would go off to sleep early.
okay, thank you, Jairam Krishna.
Pranam,
Pranam Maharaj.
Pranams from Tat Padam.
Very fruitful.
Pranam Maharaj.
Thank you, everybody, for your